What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm sorry.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be the first video in a few. We're going to talk about the 8-week trip we did in our new caravan. So we're going to hook into it. Bree's got some pictures here that will end up flashy. Okay, so in the previous two videos when I've talked about the van that we bought, which we're currently sitting in now, I talked about there was some delays in the purchase and stuff. So yeah, there were some issues there, and the caravan builder ended up, he left Melbourne on the Friday evening and I left Sydney, and we met each other south of Gundagai, New South Wales, at about 1 o'clock in the morning. From there, he gave me a brief rundown in the van, but it was 1 o'clock in the morning and starting to rain and all that stuff. We were on the side of the road. So I jumped back in the car, hooked this up to my car, jumped in the car, drove home. Got home at, I don't know, 20 past 6 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So I got home, the kids were getting up anyway, so Bree got up with the kids and they started to pack stuff into the van and I had a sleep.
And so, yeah, I just packed frantically while my Lynn and Mark, Dave's parents, were looking after the kids. And then we had people coming to look at the van, so it was a very frantic day for me. I found it very stressful, so we actually decided to leave. So where we had planned to leave and stop halfway between here and Nyngan, we decided to not stay home, have a good night's rest, and then leave really early the next day.
So this was 2022 June. And we had planned to meet, there was a whole bunch of us, we were all going to the Birdsville Big Red Bash together, and then we were going to continue on heading west. Some of them were going to do another week or something north and head home. We were meeting, a whole bunch of us were all meeting together at Nyngan Weir on the 26th for dinner and whatever.
So the next morning we got up super duper early and started driving, and we stopped. Our first stop was at Mount Vic.
Mount Victoria, coming down Mount Victoria. There's a big trig station, top of the hill there. My father's a surveyor, so trig stations. He also works in the railways, so lots of our trip involved trig stations
and railways. That's kind of a little joke we have.
My whole life has been a little bit about trig stations and railways.
Mine clearly wasn't. And so we'd stop at a town and it's like, where's the train station? Or, oh look, there's a train. And I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm not realising that was like their life.
But yeah, so we stopped there. So there's a big trig station, and I think it was he was the Surveyor General of New South Wales, whatever, has a monument there at Mount Vic. And we stopped there for get out of the car, stretch your legs. Thomas, our youngest, wasn't even 6 months yet.
I think he just turned 6 months.
Or just turned 6 months. And so Bree was still feeding him every 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
so we got that far, and then she gave him a quick top feed. And then we hopped back in the car, and we smashed it from there to Bathurst, where some of my friends that were coming with us, they'd made it as far as Bathurst on the Saturday. So we met them for breakfast at 6:30 or 7 o'clock or something.
Yeah, it was still really early. And then, we had coffee at the info centre there. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we really continued on to Wellington, I think was our next stop.
Yeah, we stopped. I think it was Wellington. We
Yeah.
stopped, had some lunch. Once again, we were having to stop, like I said,
Yeah,
every 2 to 3 hours.
which
Made the trip a lot longer, that was for sure.
yeah.
But we did it. We then went from Wellington through Nevertire. We
Yeah.
pulled up.
Yeah, another one of those train moments.
Yeah, I think there was a double stack train travelling through Nevertire or something.
So we needed to have a look.
And then from Nevertire, we drove to Nyngan.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a 12-hour day or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it would have been close to about 12 hours or
with
11,
all the stops
11 and a half hours.
and yeah, it was pulling in. It was just getting dark and
we pulled in, and everyone else that we were meeting there was already there. They were set up. So we got there and we set up. It was our first night in this, so we'd never been in it before. And everyone that we were there with were like, "Woo, let's go check out your van."
And we're like,
"It's
sure.
awesome." But no, look, it worked out. We had a good meal. And we ended up all watching. There was
There was some
some
game on,
football game on,
like the Matildas were on or something. I can't
a
remember.
Manly game, Manly losing the footy and something
Probably.
stupid.
Can you tell we're not really into football?
And anyway, we all watched that, had a couple of drinks. That was the start of our journey together with a group of us. All to the birds will be good.
I just realised as well, we hadn't put up because we'd only had it for less than 24 hours.
I didn't have a baby gate
So
thing.
we had arrived, and I'm there trying to figure out how to put a net across the bunk so that Thomas didn't roll out.
Yeah.
Do not recommend getting the van and then going away straight away.
But we had no choice. So, anyway, we started at Nyngan. Nyngan Weir, it's a really nice spot. If you ever get a chance, you go through there. It's a free camp. Obviously, you don't dump grey water or anything.
Yeah.
There's no water or power facilities, but great spot to pull up.
Then we got up with everybody, and that was when we were starting our, I guess you'd call it like pub adventures as well.
Yeah.
Where people wanted to see a whole lot of different pubs. Some of our friends had the book that you get signed, the Pubs Book Australia or whatever it is. So they were wanting to go to some of those really remote pubs. So we went through Cobar.
Yep, we pulled up in Cobar. We jumped out. We've also got, and I think they're in here, little Australian passports.
Oh, yeah, there might be. There we go.
Just, this will cut. We will find an image and put an image.
I'll take a picture.
But there are these little, you get them from some of the post offices, some information centres do these little Australia passports for kids, which for us means the kids sort of get a bit of memento. You can get them stamped at places. So we went to, we pulled in at Cobar, and the kids take their little passport in. That might be here. So yeah, kids go in, get them stamped as this is where I've been. So we did that at Cobar at the information centre. We got a big photo at the Cobar thing, but we'll hopefully cut that in too. Bailed from there, and we drove up the Louth Road, it's a dirt road that goes out to Louth. Louth is a little town on the Darling River, just south. So Burke is sort of northern New South Wales, Wilcannia is western New South Wales, and the Darling River, there's a thing called the Darling River Run that runs down through there. We sort of went part way in, so we went from Cobar, and from Cobar you go up the Louth Road into Louth, and we were going to Shindy's Inn. So we decided we'd camp on the other side of the river to Shindy's Inn because there supposedly wasn't space. Turns out there was a bit of a it was a pretty big letdown for all of us, actually. It was the first pub dinner we called them when we were heading in there, and they were all, yeah, that's awesome. And then when we got there, the lady who was...
And there was, 15 of us, so it was a fair decent amount of people coming for one night.
And, yeah, she shut the pub up at 4 o'clock and so there was no space for anyone and all this sort of stuff. So we sort of missed out on that pub meal, which was a bit of a letdown for us. But
however, like many country pubs, it is now probably under new management.
Yeah, from what we've heard. So we'd been there before, none of the others had.
Yeah.
When we were there, it was awesome. That time, the time we went 2022, wasn't great, but
it's awesome.
Yeah, maybe we'll go back again and have a look. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Right, so we got up early next morning.
Yeah.
And This time when we travelled on the northern side of the river, not on the southern side.
Which we've never done before.
Yeah, we've never done before.
Yeah.
And we got up early. We were trying to shake down a few things with the van and kids and just get used to things. So we left a little bit earlier than everyone else just to sort of get used to some stuff. And
got to Tilpa pub.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to see a lot more of the animals that people didn't see, because when we drove through, the animals were there, and then when they came through, we'd scared them all away.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I enjoyed that.
Tilpa pub's a nice spot.
Yeah, I like Tilpa pub. Would recommend. That's a good one. Every time we've gone, that's been pretty good.
Tilpa pub's place, you can sign your name inside the bar.
Yeah.
It's $1. Oh, it's a gold coin donation to
Yeah.
the Royal Flying Doctor, and we've been there. So we've been there a couple of times now. I think 3 times now. So we've
we had
signed next to where we've signed before.
Yes, that was cool. So we had one when George wasn't born yet, our eldest, and then we came back when we had both of them, and so it was kind of cool.
Yeah. So we all had a non-alcoholic beverage there for breakfast, because it
do
was
not
the
drink
first
and
pub.
drive.
Yep. And we got some people got some fuel because they didn't have fuel, and then we smashed it back down to. So we couldn't. The road was flooded along the Darling River under Wilcannia, so we ended up having to go out. There's a road from Tilpa across the Tilpa Bridge, which hopefully Brie will show you as a little convoy video of all of us.
Yeah.
We went across the Tilpa Bridge and smashed it all the way back down to the Barrier Highway.
Yeah. And then we stopped again 2 hours or so for a feed, and it was at this little roadhouse called Emdale Roadhouse, I think it was.
Not all of us stopped there. A few of us did. Some people went into Wilcannia first. We left there and then drove to Broken Hill. Elevator music.